Hello everybody, Internet back with another video. Alright guys, today's video is going to be about, of course, French Open, the second Grand Slam tournament of the year, which is just around the corner. And this is the most open French Open we have had in 19 years, since 2004. My tennis fans all around the world, because we all know that since Rafa Nadal came up to the scene and starting winning these French Opens, he has been more or less unbeatable. He has played 115 matches in this tournament and he has won 112 of them. So he has been dominating this tournament like nobody else has ever dominated other tournament, female or male. Nadal has been superior. And now he's not playing because of injury. And this makes the French Open the most open French Open in 19 years, at least according to me, since 2004. So the picking up a winner here is not easy, really. But I have made a top 8 favorite list. You guys who follow my channel knows how this goes. I will mention 8 players. I believe that one of these 8 players will win the French Open. And as higher you are on the list, as more chances I give to that specific player to win the tournament. Obviously, if you are number 8 place, you can still win the tournament, but I don't believe you as much. I don't believe the player who is on number 8 place as much as I believe for the player who is on the 3rd place, 2nd or 1st. Of course, the top 3 players who are 3rd, 2nd and 1st are the players I believe the most on. And the number 1 player, of course, is the player I believe most of them all. Alright guys, without any further ado, let's get into this video. On number 8 place, I have the quarterfinal specialist Andrei Rublev, who has been in a bunch of quarterfinals at Grand Slams events, and he has never been deeper than so past quarterfinals in Grand Slams events. And I have him on my 8th place, and I believe that he can make it to a quarterfinal here at French Open. He has not had a tremendous good year so far, according to me, but he's not. He has a big company. It is a lot of players who actually has not had a big year. He has won 1 tournament, but that 1 tournament that he has won, it is his biggest win of his career so far. That is a Master 1000 title. He won Monte Carlo earlier this year under Rublev. Defeated, I believe, Holger Rune there, if I'm not mistaken. So, even though he has not won a lot of tournaments, which he usually does the first 6 months in the year, at least a couple of them he usually does. That has not been the case this year, but he has at least won his biggest title of his career so far, which is a Master 1000 title, his maiden Master 1000 title in his career. And he usually delivers on the Grand Slams. He is pretty consistent in the first week. He defeats those players he should defeat. If he gets knocked out before the quarters, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. Because he cannot go to the quarterfinals more or less every single Grand Slams, which he does. He was in the quarterfinal at the Australian Open earlier this year. Of course, he got destroyed from Novak Djokovic in easy 3 sets, in easy straight sets. Anyway, I have Rublev on my 8th place. He has Jere as the first round opponent. That is a pretty tricky opponent, actually. So you never know what can happen there. I believe so. Jerry is pretty good on clay. So, and then he can face Sonego in the, I believe Sonego or Shelton as potential 3rd round opponents. Rublev. Sonego is pretty good on clay. Shelton not so much. He's pretty young, Shelton from United States. So, but clay is not his best surface. Sonego pretty good on clay, according to me. And then potential 4th round opponents, he can face Stan Wawrinka or Khachanov, Karen Khachanov. Stan Wawrinka, not likely that he will be in that 4th round. The former French Open champion, the 3 times Grand Slam champion. Stan Wawrinka is on a big decline. He's on end of his career. So most likely Rublev will face Karen Khachanov in that 4th round match. Anyway, Rublev is on my 8th place. Let's go ahead now. On my 7th place, this was a very hard decision to me, guys. I will be honest with you. I was thinking between two players. I'm gonna mention only one of the players. Only one name of the players that I will put on my 7th place, but it was a hard decision for me to make because I was thinking about 2 players who I will put 7th and who I will put 4th. I was going back and forth, and finally I made a decision. On my 7th place, I will have Holger Rune. Holger Rune is on my 7th place. I believe that he can make it to a quarterfinal. I don't believe he will go deeper than so. Maybe some of you are surprised that Holger Rune, who has he has done a solid year so far. He has won one clay court tournament. He has won 27 matches, lost 10 matches. So he has won a lot of tennis matches this year. But I just don't trust in Holger Rune's physicality, to be quite honest. I don't do it. Especially with that player that I believe he will face in the quarters, which I will come to that player later in the video. So I don't know. I just believe that Holger Rune, he's a good player. All right, he's a young, upcoming player from Norway who has a great backhand, moves really good, big guy, powerful guy, strong guy, but I don't think his forehand is tremendous, unbelievable good. I don't think his serve, I was not impressed with his serve against Daniil Medvedev in that Rome final. His serve was horrible. He has good shot talent from the baseline, but if you push him to the limits, if you make the rallies really long, which Daniil Medvedev did in that Rome final, if you take it to him, if you make him run, I just don't trust in his lungs. He looked really tired against Daniil Medvedev in those long exchanges. And a 2-week event where the matches are best of 5 sets. First of all, I don't believe he will go all the way. I just don't think so. I really don't think. When I see Holger Rune, I see a potential, dangerous, talented tennis player. But he doesn't make me go nuts. He doesn't give me the wow feeling when I see him. Not yet, at least. He doesn't. He's dangerous. He can beat everybody in the world, especially on clay. But I just don't I don't like his serve. I don't like his physicality. I don't like his forehand. That's it. These 3 shots I don't like with him. And these 3 shots are pretty damn important in tennis. Serve, forehand, and physicality. I just don't trust in those 3 things in his game. I don't trust them. He's on the 7th place. His draw, he can face Bublik. He can face Lajovic. He can face Struff. Those 3 players that I've looked, I didn't look his draw crazy much. He has a pretty decent draw. He should defeat those players on his way. Bublik, Lajovic, or Struff. So I have on my 7th place Holger Rune. I don't have him higher than that. Maybe some of you have him higher than that. He doesn't give me that wow feeling when I see him. He should make it to a quarterfinal. He can go past quarterfinals as well, but my feeling is that he will not go past quarterfinal. My 6th place, and I'm gonna tell you why later. My 6th place, on my 6th place on this list is the former French Open finalist from 2021, and that is Stefanos Tsitsipas. Stefanos Tsitsipas, who has had a not good year. He has not had a good year, according to me. He has not been crazy successful. He has not won one single tournament, if I'm not mistaken, so far. Stefan Tsitsipas. He has been up and down, especially his clay court season has not been good. His clay courts should be his best surface. He, like I said, he is a former French Open champion. He was 2 sets to love up. Oh, champion. Oh, I'm tired. It is late here in Sweden. He's a former French Open finalist from 2021, where he was 2 sets to love up against Novak Djokovic. But Djokovic turned that match around and won it in 5 sets, like we all remember. And clay, he's a 2 times Monte Carlo champion. His only Masters titles that he has won, both of those occasions has been on Monte Carlo. But this year, on this clay court season, he has not been good. My tennis fans all around the world. So, he has been up and down. I don't trust his level. Number 6 place is I think he will go to a quarterfinal, but I don't think he will go deeper than so. His draw: Vesely, Isner, Korda, Felix. Those are 4 potential players that he has on his way. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets knocked out before quarters, like he did last year against Holger Rune. He lost in the 4th round. I would not be surprised, but I believe he'll make it to a quarters at least, and in the quarterfinal he will lose there. That is my feeling. Stefan Tsitsipas, the 24-year-old Greek player, is on my 6th place. All right, now we have come to my 5th place, and this is, of course, as higher you are on my list. This is the quarterfinal players, 8, 7, 6, 5. And obviously the player who I have on my 5th place is the player that I believe the most of these quarterfinals players. And the player I believe the most from these quarterfinal players is Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner has big potential. He's just... Sometimes I've followed tennis for 30 years. Since I was 8 years old. I can't find the reason why this dude is not being successful in big events like Masters and Grand Slams. I just can't find the reason. He has forehand, he has backhand, he has pretty decent serve. If I can say something, he's not the best mover. He's not lighting fast. He has good returns. He's a great ball striker. He hits the ball really good, really clean. But he has not made big noise yet. He's young, so he has time on his side, but he has potential. This Italian dude has potential. When I see Jannik Sinner, he impresses me little more than Holger Rune. The only thing that Holger Rune does better than Jannik Sinner is Holger Rune is a better mover than Jannik Sinner. He covers the court better than Jannik Sinner. But when it comes to ball striking, Jannik Sinner is a better ball striker than Holger Rune. Jannik Sinner has a better forehand than Holger Rune. Jannik Sinner, backhand, that can be discussed. Probably Holger Rune has a better backhand than Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner has better serve than Holger Rune. Jannik Sinner probably has better returns than Holger Rune. So, but still, Holger Rune has never won a Master 1000. I'm sorry, Jannik Sinner has never won a Master 1000 title, which Holger Rune has done. He did it last year. He won the Paris Masters. Anyway, Jannik Sinner is on my 5th place. I believe he has potential. He can go to a quarterfinal. He should go to a quarterfinal here. He has Muller, a player I've never heard about, on his way. Grigor Dimitrov he can face as the first seeded player. Grigor Dimitrov is dangerous, but he's from the lost generation. Grigor Raonic. Yeah, I forgot his name. The other Japan dude who has made a Grand Slam final in 2014. Nishikori, US Open final in 2014. He was in US Open final in 2014. Nishikori, Raonic, Grigor, they are from the same lost generation. So I don't believe in Grigor Dimitrov. He plays good tennis and things like that, but he doesn't have any unique, huge shots in his arsenal. So Yannick Sinner should make it to a quarterfinal, and then he can face potential Zverev in the fourth round if Zverev even makes it to that fourth round, which I doubt that he will do. And anyway, Yannick Sinner has a decent draw, not great, not great draw, but not horrible draw either. Decent draw, so he should make it to a quarterfinal. Yannick Sinner is on my 5th place. Alright, now we are on the semi-final stages. On my 4th place, my tennis friends all around the world, I have, it was here I was thinking to have. And the player I will mention on my 4th place, I was thinking to put him on 7th place, and the player I had on 7th place, I was thinking to put him on 4th place. And it was between these two players, I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you guys who have forgot who I have on 7th place, it is Holger Rune, who I have on 7th place. And what it was between Holger Rune and this dude that I will mention now, I was thinking which player to have on 7 and which player to have on 4th. And I made my final decision after thinking about for many hours. I will have Casper Ruud on my 4th place. It is Casper Ruud I have on my 4th place instead of Holger Rune. And the reason for that is that Casper Ruud is a 2-time Grand Slam finalist. He has played the French Open final last year. He has played the US Open final last year. Casper Ruud has not had any great year this year. His year has not been as good as Holger Rune's. Casper Ruud has won 15 matches only this year and lost 10 matches. Holger Rune has won much more matches than Casper Ruud. Holger Rune has won 27 matches and lost 10 matches. So, but Casper Ruud owns Holger Rune in the head-to-head 4-1. This one we should not forget. Yeah, I know many of those victories he defeated Holger Rune before Holger Rune became Holger Rune, when Holger Rune was younger, when he was 18, 19 years old. Holger Rune is 20 years old nowadays. He's stronger, he's more consistent, he's more powerful. But even that victory Holger Rune got a couple of weeks ago in Rome in that semi-final, Casper Ruud was leading the match and was a break up in the second set. He was leading one set. He was one set ahead and was a break up in the second set. Casper Ruud was 5-6 points away of winning that match. So this shows to me that Casper Ruud almost was 5 up in the head-to-head against Holger Rune. 5-0 up in the lead. And last year they faced each other in the French Open semi-final. Quarter-final. It was Casper Ruud who won in 4 sets, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe that we will get a rematch between those two, between those Scandinavian dudes, Casper Ruud versus Holger Rune. And I believe that Holger Rune will be the victorious there. Maybe I will be wrong. But my feeling is that if they face, which the chances are that they will face each other if not one of them loses before quarters. Maybe both of them can win maybe both of them can lose before quarters, but if they don't lose before quarters and we will see that match again, a rematch from last year, I think that Casper Ruud will be the victorious there. Maybe I will be wrong, who knows. Anyway, I have Casper Ruud on my 4th place. I have Casper Ruud on my 4th place on this top 8 favorite list, and his draw is pretty decent draw. He doesn't have any nightmare of a draw according to me. He has a bounce in the first round. No problem for the. I don't think he will have any problem, Casper Ruud there. Then he will have Monfils as a potential second round opponent. Monfils was barely played any tennis this year. He has been injured, so I don't think Monfils will be any trouble if Monfils even goes to that second round or third round. that Casper will face him. And then, as potential fourth round opponent, Kecmanovic or Fritz, Casper Ruud can face. That will not be any problem for Casper Ruud. I don't think, at least not Fritz. Clay is not Fritz's best surface. I doubt that Fritz even will go to that fourth round. More likely that Kecmanovic will be Casper Ruud's fourth round opponent. So I don't think that Casper has a nightmare of a draw. And then he will face Holger Rune in the quarterfinals. Casper. So Casper Ruud is in my fourth place. The French Open finalist from last year. So now we're all on the top 3 spots. And you know, guys, you who follow my channel, always my top 3 spots are the players I believe the most in. And usually, almost every time I do my top 8 favorites list, it is one of my top 3 contenders who wins the Grand Slams. It almost has never happened that somebody outside of my top 3 wins the Grand Slams. I think it has happened only once, and I think it was last year's US Open when Alcaraz was not one of my top 3 favorites, and he won it. He won US Open last year, like you all remember. But all the other occasions that I've done these videos, always one of my top 3 favorites has won the Grand Slams. And I think the case will be this year as well. That is my feeling. And now we are on my top 3 favorites. On my third place, this was not super easy, to be quite honest. I thought a lot about this, who to put there on my third place. It was between 2 players. I don't know to put him third or to put him first, because it depends on which side of the draw you landed. And I was thinking about who to put there, and in the end I made my decision, and I told myself that I will put Novak Djokovic on my third place. Yeah, the 22 Grand Slam champion, the 2 times French Open champion, the 93 ATP Tour titleist. He has won 93 titles in his career so far. Novak Djokovic is my third place. He can win French Open. He's pretty high. I will not be shocked if he wins French Open. I will not be surprised if he wins French Open. He is really high on my list. To be number 3rd, it is high. That means that I believe in the dude pretty much. But I just have 2 other players who I believe a little more in. Djokovic, I believe he will go to a semi-final. His draw is Kovacevic, the first round opponent. I've never heard about the dude. Then he can face potential Fucsovics. Fucsovics is always dangerous, but Fucsovics has not made any big noise the last couple of years, really. He has not done much. Then he can face Cecchinato or Fokina as potential third round opponent. We all know Cecchinato defeated Djokovic 5 years ago, I believe, in 2018 French Open edition, the quarterfinal. But that was a different Cecchinato. Now it is a different Cecchinato. Cecchinato has been more or less in a 5-year vacation since then. If Cecchinato is in that third round to begin with, which I doubt that he will be, more likely that Fokina will be in that third round, and not Cecchinato. And then, as a potential fourth round opponent for Djokovic is Hubi Hurkacz. I don't think Hubi Hurkacz will be big of a trouble for Djokovic. So I like Novak's draw, really. I really like it. He doesn't have a bad draw. Especially even his quarterfinal opponent, which I will tell later who that will be, is a great draw for him. It is a really great draw. So Novak has a good draw. Really. What Novak doesn't have a good draw is that his semi-final opponent, which I will come to him later. That is not an easy opponent. Alright, anyway, Novak is on my third place. I just think that Novak Djokovic has not had a great year, really, since Australian Open. Yeah, he has won the Australian Open. He was pretty flawless at Australian Open, lost only 1 set in 7 matches. But this is clay. This is his worst surface. He's not as good on clay like he's on grass and hard courts. He doesn't possess that firepower. He's a very underrated serve. He has a great serve. He doesn't get rewarded with his serve on clay like he does on hard courts and grass. His physicality is not as good as before. For Djokovic to win French Open, he really needs to be on top of his game, both with his shot tolerance, with his physicality, with his power. He can win French Open. I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised. I just don't think that Djokovic will win French Open. Not this year, not ever again. If he proves me wrong, I will say big congratulations to Novak Djokovic. I would love him to prove me wrong. I always cheer for the GOATs. Djokovic, Nadal and Federer. Federer is not playing anymore. Nadal is almost retired as well. I always cheer on the GOATs. If you ask me when the GOATs, Djokovic, Nadal and Federer play, I always cheer for them. Why? I want to see great players becoming even greater. So if he proves me wrong, I will be happy about that. But I just don't trust in his level, especially not on clay at this current moment. And then we have his elbow. I don't think his elbow is 100% healthy. That is my feeling, because he was hitting the ball really hard at Australian Open. He's not hitting the ball as hard on this clay court season. And his forehand, I should not forget, his forehand has been on a vacation. His forehand has been a Santa Claus shot in this clay court season. It has been. He has not won one single clay court title. He has not. He has lost against dudes like Lajovic, like Holger Rune, and like that Italian talented player Musetti. Against these three dudes he has lost on this clay court season. They are decent players. They are good players, but they are not amazing players. Neither of them. Neither Lajovic, neither Musetti, neither Holger Rune. But not now at this Grand Slam. It is a total different story. He will raise his level, I believe. He should raise his level. He needs to raise his level. So he will be harder to defeat in a best of 5 sets. But still, he has that age. Age doesn't show mercy against nobody. Father times catches up with everybody. He's 36 years old. To win French Open for the third time as a 36 years old, it will be a Mount Everest mounting for Novak Djokovic to climb. A Mount Everest mounting that he definitely can climb. It is not impossible, but it will be a nightmare. Anyway, Djokovic is my third place. I believe he will go to a semifinal and lose there. On my second place, I have Daniil Medvedev. Daniil Medvedev, who hates playing on clay, at least used to hate playing on clay, he has shown some great form lately. He won Rome, and we all know that the last couple of years, the player who wins Rome usually doesn't win the French Open, and I don't think Medvedev will win French Open. I think that thing that has been the case with players who win Rome doesn't win French Open will continue to be even this year. I don't think Medvedev will win French Open, but I think he will go to a final. I think that he has potential. He has improved his forehand. He's playing deeper. He's playing harder. He's changed strings in his racket. He's playing a little with more topspin. He doesn't hit the ball as flat as before. Changing the strings in his racket has helped his clay court game. He's rock solid from the baseline. He has a big serve. You don't get rewarded with your serve on slow surfaces like you do on fast surfaces on hard courts and grass. But to have a big serve helps even on clay to do damage on the 3rd, 5th, and 7th shots. The golden shots of tennis. 3rd, 5th, and 7th shots. I believe that Daniil Medvedev will go to final. He has a quarterfinal first round. Then he can face potential third round opponent Nishioka. Then he can face potential fourth round opponents Coric or Thiem is there, but I don't believe Thiem will be in the fourth round, or de Minaur. De Minaur is also there looming. So Medvedev has a decent draw. I don't think neither of those players should should take him out. He should make it to a quarter at least. And then in the quarters, I believe in him. I believe he can go to all the way to the final. I believe that. Maybe I will, if he doesn't, I will not get shocked. I will not get surprised, because still clay is his worst surface. But I believe that he can make it to a final. He can make it to a final. Will he do that? I don't know, man. To predict tennis is really difficult, especially on this year's French Open. This year's French Open is wild open. So, he's the second seed for a reason. He just won Rome. He's the player who has won most titles of all the players so far in this 2023 season. He has won 5 titles. I'm liking his draw. He can make it to a final, and I believe he will make it to a final. He's on my second place on this top 8 favorite list. On my first place, you should know that by now, and you guys know it by now. I believe that it is the 20 years old Spaniard, super talented player, Carlos Alcaraz, who is the player who has had a tremendous good year. He has won 30 matches and lost only 3 matches. He's the player who has won most clay court titles of all the players so far. And he has won 3 clay court titles this year. Nobody has won more clay court titles than him this year. He had an early loss in Rome, but I don't think that will hurt him much. He just has to rest up his body, because he has been playing a lot of tennis lately. When I see Alcaraz, I get a wow feeling, much more than when I see Holger Rune. Alcaraz really can be the next one. I believe that he has potential. If he can keep himself healthy, he has potential to be a double-digit Grand Slam winner. He really has. He has even Djokovic and Federer, especially these two, not Nadal. Djokovic and Federer, they were not as good as Alcaraz is when they were 20 years old. They really was not. Alcaraz is better than Djokovic and Federer when Djokovic and Federer was in Alcaraz's age. Alcaraz, to be 20 years old, is really, really good. The dude is more or less complete. He has forehand, he has backhand, he has returns, he has net game, he has good touch at the net, unbelievable drop shots. The only thing that misses in his game, and not to forget his movement, he is super, super fast. He's lightning fast. He's so explosive. He hits the ball really hard, especially with his forehand. The only thing that misses in his game, it is his serve. His serve is decent, but it is not great. But he still is a bit better serve than Holger Rune, at least according to me. Holger Rune's serve is not impressing me. Many tennis analysts around the world, they talk about Holger Rune's serve is so good and things like that. I don't know what they are seeing in that serve. Holger Rune's serve is not great. Alcaraz's serve is not great either, but it is slightly better than Holger Rune's serve. At least according to me and according to my opinion. So Alcaraz, the dude has more or less the whole package. We don't know how he will handle the pressure. He's the number 1 seed. This is the first time that he enters a Grand Slam event to being the number 1 seed. And his draw, not to forget, he's a qualifier in the first round, not a problem. Daniel, the Japanese dude, he can face in the second round. Shapovalov, one of the most inconsistent tennis players that we have ever seen. The dude has underperformed so far, according to me, Shapovalov. Can you believe that Shapovalov, who is such a great shot maker, he has only won 1 tournament in his career so far. Only 1. Man, unbelievable. That dude should at least have 5, 6, maybe 10 titles so far in his career, because he has potential. He's talented, Shapovalov, but he has, for some reason, only won 1 title in his career. Shapovalov, he is looming as Alcaraz potential 3rd round opponent, and then Alcaraz can face as a potential 4th round opponent Cam Newry. This should not be a problem for Alcaraz. Alcaraz should go to a quarterfinal here. And Alcaraz is my number 1 seed, my number one player to win French Open. He's on the highest player on this top 8 favorites list to win French Open. And we go from mention the potential quarterfinal matches. Alcaraz, Tsitsipas. Alcaraz owns Tsitsipas for love at the head-to-head. I don't need to say more. Djokovic, Rublev, 3-1 on the head-to-head for Djokovic there. Djokovic will defeat Rublev. And then Ruud owns Rune in the head-to-head 4-1. I believe that Ruud will defeat Rune. This is one of the reasons why I had Ruud higher than Rune on my top 8 favorite list. It was between these two I was thinking who to have 4th and who to have 7th. And in the end, I decided to have Ruud on my 4th place and Rune to have on my 7th place. Much of the reason of this head-to-head. Casper Ruud is owning Holger Rune 4-1 in the head-to-head. That means something. And then the 4th quarterfinal match is between Medvedev and Sinner. Even this one, Medvedev owns Sinner 6-love in the head-to-head. And then semi-final matches is between Djokovic and Alcaraz. I believe that this match can go either way, of course. They have faced each other only once. That was in last year's Madrid semi-final, where Carlos Alcaraz won that battle. That battle was one of the best matches of last year's in 3 sets. Djokovic is 1 year older. Djokovic is slower than he was last year. Djokovic is in a worse shape than he was last year. And Carlos is even better than he was last year, at least according to me. I will not be shocked if Djokovic defeats Carlos Alcaraz, but Djokovic is 16 years older than Carlos Alcaraz. Djokovic is not as strong and physical. His stamina is not as great as it used to be, Djokovic will not get better. Djokovic will only get worse. As fast as you turn 36 years old, it is there your big decline starts. I really believe that Djokovic's big decline will start now. I really believe so. Look at Federer. He won his last Grand Slam title when he was 36 years old. Look at Nadal. He won maybe the French Open title last year is Nadal's last Grand Slam title in his career. And how old was Nadal when he won his last Grand Slam title? Yeah, 36 years old. So when you turn 36 years old, it is from there, it is only downhill. It is only downhill, my tennis friends all around the world. And I believe that I don't think that Djokovic has won his last Grand Slam title. I believe that Djokovic will win Grand Slams even as 36 years old. I just don't think that he will do that at French Open. I think Djokovic's last Grand Slams will come at Wimbledon and at Australian Open. It will not come at French Open or US Open. I think Alcaraz takes out Djokovic in that semi-final. And then the other semi-final, I said that they have faced each other only once, and that is 1-love to Alcaraz against Djokovic. But they have never faced each other in a best of 5-set match. The other semi-final is between Medvedev and Ruud. Medvedev owns the head-to-head against Ruud 3-love. I don't think that Ruud will make it to a second French Open consecutive final. I just don't think so. He made it to a final last year, which was a great run for Ruud. I don't think Ruud will make it to a second consecutive French Open final. I think Ruud's journey this year ends in the semi-final against Daniil Medvedev. And the head-to-head is not helping Ruud. Medvedev owns Ruud 3-love in the head-to-head. So Ruud has never defeated Medvedev. But you never know. It is you always can get your first win. It will come a time that you will get your first win against a player that you have very difficulties. So, but I don't think that Ruud will get his first win against Medvedev now. I don't think so. Maybe I will be wrong. Who knows? Maybe Ruud will make it to a second French Open final in 2 consecutive years. But I don't think he will do that. I think Medvedev will defeat Ruud in that semi-final. And then we have the French Open final, and that French Open final is between Alcaraz and Medvedev. The head-to-head is 1-1 between these two. The first time they faced each other was in Wimbledon 2021, when Alcaraz was super young and super not so experienced. So you can. It is a long time ago. The second time they faced each other was this year in the Indian Wells final, where Alcaraz won his straight set. So, and I think we will have a new final between these two for this year, between Alcaraz and Medvedev, the number 1 seed Alcaraz versus the number 2 seed Daniil Medvedev, the world number 1 the world number 1 Alcaraz versus the world number 2 Daniil Medvedev, and I think that Alcaraz will defeat Daniil Medvedev in that French Open final. There you have my prediction for this French Open final 2023, my tennis fans all around the world. And like always, I will mention some dark horses, which I always do. The dark horses are players that I believe can make some noise, but obviously it is not players I believe will make it to win the. I don't believe that those players will win the title, and it is always players who doesn't have high ranking. I will mention 3. Stan Wawrinka is always a dangerous dark horse. Dominic Thiem, we all know that what he can do. He's not the Dominic Thiem we all used to, but he always is dangerous. And the 3rd dark horse, Denis Shapovalov. Why not? He is always dangerous. He's a shot maker. This was a huge, long video. I hope you enjoyed this video, my tennis fans all around the world. Let's enjoy tennis. If you enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next time. Peace.